Today, we're diving into the blueprint of a builder, but maybe not the kind you're thinking of. We're talking about Rhonda P. Hines, someone who is somehow a master in two worlds that feel like they're universes apart. So let me ask you this. What do billion-dollar bridges and Grammy-nominated artists have in common? I know, it sounds like the setup to a strange joke, right? But the answer is actually a person, and she's pretty remarkable. All right, to really get this, we've got to start in her first world. And I mean, this is a world of hard hats and blueprints, of demanding, super precise, high-stakes construction. This is where she first learned how to build. And look, when I say high stakes, I'm not kidding. Check this out. She has a proven track record of delivering over $1.5 billion in projects. I mean, just let that number sink in for a second. That's billion with a B. It tells you everything you need to know about the kind of expertise we're talking about here. And to get even more specific, a huge piece of that comes from her time as a senior project manager for Georgia's state bridge program. We're talking about overseeing more than $900 million in bridge projects. You know, the actual physical foundations that whole communities rely on every single day. This isn't just about big numbers, though. Her work gets noticed, big time. In 2011, she was awarded the Governor's Commendation Medal, which is a huge deal. It's one of the state's highest honors. And she got it for pulling off what was then the largest military construction project in the history of the Georgia Army National Guard. Wow. So you start to see the pattern, right? She's a trailblazer. She was the very first woman of color to become the director of contracting for the Georgia Department of Defense. You add that to her big role at the Department of Transportation, plus managing projects for international clients, and what you get is a picture of a leader who doesn't just survive under pressure, she thrives in it. And then there's this. It's a letter from the Georgia Assistant Attorney General, and it's all about her character. She had to testify in court, and the AG called her professional, extremely well-spoken, and very thorough. He literally called her an excellent witness. It just goes to show you, her entire reputation is built on being precise and having total integrity, even when the pressure's on in a courtroom. Okay, so we've got the picture, right? Concrete, steel, massive contracts, public trust. That's world number one. But now we're going to do a complete 180. Let's see how those exact same skills apply to her second world, which honestly couldn't look more different on the outside. We're talking about building people. And get ready for this pivot, because this is how people describe her in this world. It's quite something. An unapologetically hilarious mix of auntie plus Jesus with a corporate edge. I mean, you can't make that up. It's this perfect mix of caring, straight-up truth, and serious strategy. You know right away, this is not your average coach. This is wisdom backed by some serious real-world experience. So you might be wondering, who exactly is looking for this kind of coaching? Well, her client list is just as jaw-dropping as her construction projects. We're talking Grammy-nominated performers, famous creatives, media personalities, pro athletes, you name it. For 25 years, people who are already at the top of their fields have been seeking her out for her unique way of building them up. And it's not just raw talent or life experience either. She's got the paperwork to back it up. She went out and got certified as both a life purpose coach and a forgiveness life coach. So she's combining that natural gift for helping people with a real structured approach. Her voice also reaches a ton of people. Think about this. Way back in 2007, right in the middle of the mortgage crisis, she had a radio show pulling in 100,000 listeners a week. People who needed clarity when everything felt chaotic. And today, her total subscribers across all her platforms is over 105,000. So yeah, this is no hobby. It's a serious platform. And if you want proof of that platform in today's world, here it is, the YouTube Silver Play button. You only get one of these when you pass 100,000 subscribers. It's like a modern trophy that says, hey, you know how to build a community. It's proof she can build online just as well as she can build with concrete and steel. Okay, so we've laid it all out. On one hand, you have the builder of billion-dollar stuff. On the other, the builder of incredible people. So how in the world do these two things connect? Well, this is where it all comes together. This is the unifying blueprint. And here it is. The whole thing boils down to this one brilliant line. She builds what people walk on and what they become. Boom, right there. That's the aha moment. It's the bridges we physically walk on, and it's the personal paths we walk on in life. It's all about building. So what's her secret sauce? It's that she uses the exact same playbook for both jobs. Just think about it for a second. The kind of precision, the planning, the ability to see and handle risks that you need to build a bridge that's going to stand for 100 years, well, she takes that exact same mindset and applies it to building a person's career so it can handle any storm. So let's break it down into 4 simple killers. First, you need a disciplined strategy, whether you're building a highway or a life plan. Second, you got to mitigate risk. That means spotting the weak points in a structure or the blind spots in a person. Third, you do the work with integrity. And fourth, you are held accountable for the results. That's it. That's the blueprint. And you can really hear the passion when she talks about it herself. The goal isn't just to have a good plan. The goal is real transformation. She says her work is about helping you rise stronger, walk bolder, and step fully into the life you are designed to lead. It's where the practical engineer brain meets this incredibly powerful personal mission. All right, so this brings us to the end, and this might be the most important part. We've spent all this time looking at her blueprint, so now I think it's only fair that we turn the question around and think about our blueprint. So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. What are you building right now? If you took the mindset of a master builder, that precision, that integrity, that long-term vision, and applied it to your own life, what would that look like? What foundations are you laying down today for the person you want to be tomorrow? Because that's the builder's philosophy.